I mean, it's because you and I had an open mind that we discovered Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. And I also do crypto astrology, where I forecast the market using astrology. I do focus on Bitcoin and the general transits because Bitcoin is the dominant coin for right now. And I also do astrology readings for people to look at their charts to see when is best for them to trade. Whatever they're looking to do, the best times according to their personal chart. Change is what something people need to get used to. Financially, I feel like this is going to cause a shift, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini. Uranus to do with crypto, just with this combination of all these energies, I feel like it's going to be like this cluster of everything going on at once, causing this chaos. You can't hide it anymore, and especially with Neptune moving into Aries. It's like the wool is being taken off of people's eyes. People are starting to really wake up to see the truth in things and remove their rose-colored glasses to actually see the reality of how they are personally being influenced and treated.
How's Bitcoin going to fare in the midst of all of this?
Using Wi-Fi without NordVPN could mean sharing your private stuff with more people than you think. NordVPN. Online security starts with a click.
When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes a duty. So said Thomas Jefferson. Go to bit.ly/lawful tax protest or bit.ly/make war history and find out why it is a criminal offence to pay central government or local government taxes in the UK. And let's make war history. Hey, Lauren, thank you so much for making yourself available.
Hi, how are you?
I am very, very well. Very, very well. We are once again together going to look at Western astrology to look at see what's going on in the world, plus a look at matters financial and monetary using Western astrology. Do you want to say a little bit about yourself and where people can find you and what you do?
Okay, so I do I guess with Pluto and Aquarius, I do a unique blend of things. I'm a crypto consultant. That's how I started in my crypto journey, where I help people with troubleshooting, wallet recovery, and any other troubleshooting issues with software and crypto things. And I also do crypto astrology, where I forecast the market using astrology. I do focus on Bitcoin and the general transits because Bitcoin is the dominant coin for right now. And I also do astrology readings for people to look at their charts to see when is best for them to trade, whether it's buying, selling, whatever their strategy is, when the best time is for them to either enter, into buying, selling, whatever they're looking to do, the best times according to their personal chart.
Right, which I think is pretty novel and neat, and not one that I've heard anybody else do. Right, so you would take my birth chart and then you'd match it, say, with Bitcoin or Ripple's chart, and then see, okay, this is when it's going to work for me to move in and out of Ripple or Bitcoin
Right.
or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. And then I'm going to have all the details because you also have a YouTube channel and you're an X and your Patreon if people want to find out, because you also do a regular crypto astrology newsletter as well, right?
Yeah, that's part of my Patreon
Right.
that I have it with. One quick thing to say about crypto astrology for trading. You don't necessarily have to be looking at a specific coin. Like a lot of people do. They like to know with certain coins, but even if it's your just own personal, hey, I just want to start investing, when's the best time for me? Or when's the best time just to trade in general? I'm looking around this time frame. I can do that as well.
Right.
So.
Right. And I think this is the third time you've been on my channel. I remember you came on in late last summer and you said to me, and this is when Bitcoin was just doing this sideways, and you said it's going to start going up after October. And it did. And it did. And then I think the last time you came on, you said it's, I think after April or in April, you said there's going to be an all-time high in April and another one in November. Well, let us see. And we're going to look at Bitcoin for April a little bit, but also the monetary stuff. But we're looking at what's happening in the world because there is quite a lot happening in the world. So where do you want to begin?
Let's see, where we want to begin. I'm just going to share my screen. This is the United States' birth chart when it was born, or when, in 1776 when it came about. And you see all these lines here?
Yep.
There's these lines. These are called when planets are parallel to other planets. That mean that they're on the same wavelength. They really get along very well. Things go harmoniously. I want to say lucky. Maybe that's not the right word, but there's a bit of hope, optimism. It's a very positive strong showing that the country will succeed, that there's a strong potential to succeed because all these planets are sitting at the same in the same house, like on the same floor with each other, we'll say.
Right.
This is the WEF chart. It does not have as many of these parallel lines in it, but I don't know why I felt that the WEF chart was very similar to the United States' chart, because it does have quite a few parallel lines, but how almost perfect the chart is when the WEF started, I really can't help to think that someone was using astrology to create the WEF, to have it start at a certain point to have it succeed. Like the United States chart, I feel like they even used astrology then and had things in certain places for success, to ensure the success. And that's what I felt with this WEF. Now, whether it's good or bad, the WEF, whatever anyone believes, I just felt like with these parallels in the chart, how positive the sun's transits were to all these large planets, these positive planets, to Mars, to Jupiter, expansion of money, expansion of power, revolutionizing how people, I don't want to say cult-like following, but it's a bit of a manipulation here in the chart. But just the chart, looking at it alone, was just kind of outstanding to me, that everything that was in this chart was signifying success. Like, this was going to succeed, and that they really truly did use astrology to create this chart. Because even though there are some challenges here within the chart, there are always some challenges in any chart that helps it to propel it to get better. Just where all the planets were, there's this beautiful triangle pointing up towards the 10th house of Sagittarius, meaning expanding their world philosophy on a global type of scale.
That's amazing. Now, just on that, I've heard there's this saying that millionaires don't use astrology, but billionaires do.
Yes, and I could see that Charles Schwab probably uses astrology, just where everything is at. And I don't want to go into too crazy of detail here, but again, just where the planets are, these parallels to all these planets, to Jupiter, to Mars, expansion, getting things into action, to Neptune, almost creating like this fantasy or facade that this is, the best thing on the earth, that we are helping people. It just kind of blew my mind looking at this chart, and it really reminded me of the United States. And
Right.
again, not as many parallels as the United States, but it just reminded me that it was created with the energies for success. That it was created purposely during this time. Like, they picked this time to create it in order to have the success.
Okay, then is it going to be successful? Will the Great Reset prevail?
I feel like their facade is crumbling, because with this Uranus here this is the 8th house in Libra. This is talking about, let me just go over to my notes here. This is talking about, manipulative speak, convincing people that this is for the greater good. Sorry, it's in the 9th house. Expanding this philosophy that this is for the greater good. This is for everybody. But it's not exactly how they're making it out to be. They're trying to have this revolutionary types of ideas, but in reality, it's almost more of a redistribution of wealth, especially with Pluto at that 29 degrees of Virgo. It's like it's just this manipulation that, like, what they're saying to the people is not what's happening behind the scenes. There's an element of hidden agendas, and not being so honest with people.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I guess too, with the North Node here in Aquarius, wanting to have this humanitarian like drive for the good of all people. Sorry, it's at 24 degrees there. It's like a fantasy that they're trying to appeal to the masses. But that fantasy is in the process, I feel, of crumbling. People are starting to see through it. Maybe when it began, they were able to really spread this idea of one world government, and we can help all and listen to all of us because we know best.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's, especially with Neptune moving into Aries and with Chiron here, it's highlighting the challenges and the wounds that are in the cracks within the WEF that could be coming down and crumbling and really showing its true colors.
Yes, I definitely get that because they
Yeah.
wanted lockdown to be for 10 years. That didn't happen. Too many people resisted the injections.
Yeah.
With Jay Powell raising interest rates when Biden was president, dollars draining out of Europe and the WEF base into the United States, so then they can't borrow money at 0% interest or low interest rates in order to pay for their boondoggles.
Oh, yes.
Good.
And very interestingly, the Uranus at 13 degrees, it's called a critical degree. And what it means is it's the element of manipulation. I don't want to say evil, but it has a not so great quality, and it does represent manipulation, redistributing of wealth, transformation of financial systems, but again, not for what they're telling people.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Okay.
it's very interesting.
Okay. And that is going to continue to crumble?
I believe so. Again, I believe with Pluto, with Neptune moving into Aries, their communication, I feel like people are going to see the truth. Their fabrication, their lies are going to be exposed because Neptune exposes things. I feel like they're going to, especially when it hits this is conjunct the natal Chiron at 6 degrees. It's going to really expose the shadow side of the WEF.
Oh, goody. Okay. Now, do you want to move on to like what's happening generally with regards to the money markets and
let's do that.
Bitcoin?
We have a lot of April 30th. Neptune is moving into the sign of Aries. That's a shift, a societal shift in many ways. It's in Aries. It has to do with the individual breaking away from following the status quo and just going along like a zombie with it, finding their own voice. Interestingly, the Civil War began 2 days before Neptune entered into Aries in 1861. I'm not saying we're going to a civil war, but Neptune in Aries has revolutionary-like qualities. And we can see that things are becoming divided. We're seeing division in different ways. History repeats itself, but it's not always exactly the same. And I could see that, there is division in the world, whether it's the tariffs that are dividing different countries, causing different alliances to form because of these tariffs, or people within the countries forming their own, almost like a grassroots, people coming together to stand up for their individual freedoms. I feel like that's going to be a huge theme. I just feel like that's going to be a huge theme, and not just because of Neptune moving into Aries, but we also have Saturn moving into Aries in May. Jupiter moves into Cancer in June, and July, Uranus enters Gemini. So we have these outer planets that are all moving into new signs. And this is going to cause some chaos because outer planets cause big shifts on a large grand scale, like Mercury, Venus, Mars. They're more personal. You feel it more on a macro level, but the micro level, these are on a macro level. They're shifting society in different types of ways. And I feel like that these ways that they're shifting things, you can predict, like, okay, yes, Neptune and Aries, it's spiritual, it's for the self, but with all of them happening at the same time, all very close together, I feel like things are going to shift in a way that no one is anticipating, that no one is expecting.
Right.
With Uranus entering into Gemini, that has been history. That has been when the United States has been in various wars, and other countries. World War One, World War Two. World War Two occurred with Uranus in Gemini. Jupiter entering into Cancer, that's positive, but it's expanding. It's expanding things. So it's expanding these energies that are moving into different signs.
Mm.
And I feel like change is what something people need to get used to. Financially, I feel like this is going to cause a shift, especially with Uranus moving into Gemini. Uranus is to do with crypto, just things moving very quickly. Even Neptune moving into Aries. That has been also a significator of monetary changes. And Saturn moving into Aries, blurring the lines of the governments, what governments do to people, crossing the boundaries of personal space and personal freedoms. Just with this combination of all these energies, I feel like it's going to be like this cluster of everything going on at once, causing this chaos that eventually the dust will settle. But I feel like we need this chaos to occur in order to shift into a better financial system. Because, let's face it, things are kind of broken at this point. They're corrupt. Especially with Pluto and Aquarius, it's the outer planets are moving out of earth signs and slower signs. They're moving into quick moving signs. So things are going to happen quick without people being able to catch their breath. It's like one thing's going to happen after another. And it's energy where people will have the ability and the oomph, like a reason to stand up and to fight for their own freedoms, especially with Neptune in Aries. Fighting for the self. Why? What is important to me? Changing their values from the old way to a new system, to a new way of being, governing themselves. With Pluto in Capricorn, that was the quote unquote crumbling of the old systems.
Yep.
We still need to rebuild those systems, but with Pluto, now in Aquarius, there is rebuilding, but there's still the changes that need to be made in order to find stability, to build up a new system. And with all these planets changing, I feel that that's a huge symbolism of that we're moving towards a new system, but we need to continue to get rid of the old, shake it all up, like really have a shake up in order to find this new stability to move forward.
Wow. Well, it certainly does seem that things are moving really, really quickly. There's
They
sudden
are.
changes, and lots of them.
Yes.
Lots and lots of sudden changes. Okay. And I'm reminded because the last video we did, we looked at the United Kingdom and the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots and lots of sudden changes going on in both of those, including the European Union announcing that come October, they're going to launch central bank digital currencies. Hooray!
I heard that it was that globally? Because I heard it's something on a global level as well.
No, it's just the European Union right now.
Just the European Union, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure the IMF and all the other countries are doing likewise as well. Okay, now can you say something about what's going to happen with currencies and what's going to happen with Bitcoin from what you can see?
In May, Saturn moves into the sign of Neptune, and we have a Saturn square Uranus, a Saturn square Jupiter. I'm sorry, my words. This Mercury retrograde is making me fumble my words here.
No problem.
Okay, so when Uranus and Saturn are in aspects to each other, they are huge movers and shakers. Jupiter and Saturn are also movers and shakers of the market. I feel not to the extreme of Uranus and Saturn, but Jupiter expands. Saturn limits and contracts. And the way I look at it is it's like it's expanding the contraction of things, of finances, of people's wallets, people's dollars not being able to spend or go as far.
Wow.
And for the financial world, whether it's crypto, whether it's stock market, anything in the financial world, I feel like this is going to affect it. Jupiter will also square the North Node. It's causing a challenge in the direction of where people want to go. People have this, they want to move forward with financial currency and with the good of all the people. But with Jupiter squaring the North Node, it's like there's a challenge there, a challenge that needs to be overcome before this can happen. While Jupiter is positive, when in a challenging transit, it expands the challenges of the transits. So the fact that it is squaring to Saturn, squaring to the North Node, I just feel that this is going to be highlighting some challenges, especially during this time. This is May, and this is into June.
Okay, and you said expanding the contraction, so that's like the value will diminish.
Yes, that's a better word. Yes, June 15th is when Jupiter squares to Saturn, but regardless, in May we'll start to feel it, especially with Jupiter squaring that North Node, because Saturn is conjunct next to that North Node, so those energies are even more amplified with this expansion of contraction of finances, of money, of people, and it can go into so many ways that this could happen in so many financial different sectors it could affect. Governments could have issues, financial issues. I know they passed in the United States, they wanted to try to expand the debt ceiling, I believe it is, trying to save it so they don't have to shut the government down.
Yep.
This could cause some issues with that. It's expanding the limitations of government, expanding the issues that are going on, revealing the issues. Yes, they're expanding the issues that are going on with the government, with the people, that you can't hide it anymore, especially with Neptune moving into Aries. It's like the wool is being taken off of people's eyes. People are starting to really wake up to see the truth in things and remove, their rose-colored glasses to actually see the reality of how they are personally being influenced and treated, and finding their voices to stand up for themselves, for others, but for themselves, to make the world, a better place. Grassroots movements starting up to help the country and monetary system.
Okay, well, given that you and I both run crypto channels, how's Bitcoin going to fare in the midst of all of this?
So in April, I still say that that is a good time for crypto, just because of Saturn and Uranus are in a sextile. That, again, they're the movers and the shakers of the financial markets. And I believe that they're going to set up for a really good run. Whether April 4th there is the all-time high, or it sets it up in motion to go up to that all-time high. I feel like it's going to be very, very positive for the crypto market. And it could go to the all-time high in April. Again, maybe not exactly on the 4th, a little bit after that, or even before it, with that new moon and Neptune moving into Aries. It's signaling like this newness, I feel like it's like this new cycle that's starting. And it is, especially with Neptune moving into Aries the day after the eclipse. Something new is starting, turning over a new leaf, turning over a new page. And with Aries, ruled by Mars, it's action. It's like it's hitting the ground running, to go, just to run and go. And especially with Uranus and Saturn, I feel like it's amplifying those positive Uranus and Saturn energies to really give it like the, in the beginning of a race where they shoot the go gun to go. I feel like that's what it equates to.
That's interesting you say that, because we're recording this on Wednesday, the 26th of March. And so it's 9 days till April the 4th. But you say it could be a few days after that, around that time.
Yep.
Okay.
Even a couple of days before, these long-term transits, when they occur, it's not just April 4th, it occurs and it's done and it's over with. The energy is building up, building up, building up. So we could start to see this. I really believe it's the new moon is when we're really going to start to see it. Maybe a little before that, but I feel like it's that new moon, the 29th, 30th, when Neptune enters into Aries. It's really going to spark this, like, I don't know, just suddenly turning over this new leaf and just, let's hit the ground running. Let's go.
It's very interesting, Laura. And this is the kind of coverage you offer people, including like their own personal birth charts, as well as in terms of if they want to trade crypto, how it's going to go. Anything else you want to let us know about Bitcoin, or anything else we've covered?
Hold on, let me look very quickly, because there are a couple of interesting things about Bitcoin. Now this is further down the road. This is in June actually. Jupiter will square to Neptune. Now this could be a point, and also Jupiter will be in a square to Saturn. This could be a point in the market when. Now I'm not concrete on my answer because I'm still researching for my report. But of what I'm seeing, this could be a challenging time, a very challenging time for the crypto market. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like April, possibly even into May, is going to be good. It's really positive. Mid-June could start to be, or even start of June could start to be the come down of the crypto market, the turning point back the other way of the crypto market. I do see this as a challenging period for crypto in mid-June during this time. So people wanted like a time frame of the good, the bad.
Very good, very good. Okay, so maybe all-time highs in April, and perhaps people might want to put something on the side. And if they want to get more specific details and info, then they can, what they got to do is give you the date you were born, the time you were born, and the place you were born, and then they can, through Patreon or through your X or whatever, I'll have the links in the description below, contact you for a personalized chart. That is absolutely fabulous. Mm-hmm. Laura, thank you. And this video is going to go out on my channel and on your channel. Anybody who's watching, comment, share this video. And the thing that I'm noticing, because I thought, astrology, fine, it's all right for entertainment and everything, read the horoscope in the charts, in the newspaper and everything, right? But mm-hmm. it ain't all that. But as I've delved more and more into it and listened to you, and I've recorded videos with a Vedic astrologer and listened to others and everything, this is a science. This is a science that has been maligned and forgotten, certainly in the West.
Oh, yes, it has been. It looks like looked down on, like, you
hocus pocus.
The most evil thing.
Yes. No, so it's worth. I would suggest keep an open mind. I mean, it's because you and I had an open mind that we discovered Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
All right, so try it out. Lauren, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Comments, questions, share this video far and wide. And between now and when I see you next, please keep filling your pockets with astronomical profits. Crypto Rich and Lauren Crypto signing out. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Crypto Rich.